Hey, Rick85 here. Just going to put up a video today on two things. One, have some magazines here, have some ammo over here that some of you guys or girls may have received in the mail recently. I know there's a lot of ammunition going out of the store these days. And you might have the magazine and they're on stripper clips and you don't know how to load them up or haven't seen that before, so I thought I'd just go through a little bit of that real quick. And the second thing, you've seen these before in a couple videos. In the AK-47, this is a Sega, and Rock River AR-15 here. I just thought I'd go over a couple things that were mentioned in that assault weapons ban and why personally myself I think they're ludicrous. So let's start with those magazines first and how to load those up, and then I'm going to go ahead into the 5 features on each one of these that would be banned, or you would only be allowed one of these features in the future, which I personally hope that doesn't go through, and I think we all do that. So but let me go ahead and show you how to load these magazines up. This is for the AR-15. This is a 30 round mag and ammo can right over here. So I'm going to show you how to load these up real quick. Not very hard, relatively simple as long as you have the right piece for it or the right tool for it. So here we have a can. This one has, what does this one have in here? 420 rounds of the 62 grain full metal jacket ball ammo. These are the green tipped in here that I got these a while back. And a straight metal 30 round magazine. You may have gotten one of these recently in the mail, maybe some mail order. You opened it up, it actually comes in the nice ammo case, and you took it out, and instead of having loose ammo, oops, you got something like these. And for those politicians, and occasionally myself, this is a clip or a stripper clip. I've occasionally called a magazine a clip myself in a couple of videos. Should have corrected myself, but I didn't. But this is a clip. This is a magazine. For those politicians that are watching this, magazine, clip. Alright, so maybe a little bit of sarcastic tone there, but let's get back to really what we were showing. So you have your 10 rounds in here on your clips. You have your magazine right here, and what you need, and I think they go by a couple terms, and I got actually sent away for these. I'll get a couple of these out of the way so you can see, and sorry for not zooming in on this, but this is sometimes referred to as a spoon, and really what it does, here's your magazine, goes right over the end of it, and you can feel it's locked in there. Take one of your clips, and let me zoom in, as a matter of fact, just a little bit more. Where is it? There we go. And here's the stripper clip, and on the end of these there is a small tab, and on one end, just bend that tab down, straighten that tab out, and basically that loosens it up so your ammo can come off the end of it. Your rounds can come off the end. Here's the end of the magazine. As you can see, it just flips over and it sits right on there. Let me get a plastic one out too. I think I have some over here. Maybe I got some, maybe I have 15, I forget. There we go. These are plastics. As you can see, right in the end of it, there's a line or a groove, and your spoon will fit right down in there. So if you do have the plastic ones instead of the metal, they fit on both. So Your rounds may have come with these, or you may have to order them. I think I purchased mine off Amazon, and they were super cheap, $1 or $2 each. I can't remember. But let's go ahead and load some of these up now. I just like to put gloves on when I'm doing it. So again, we have our magazine, and our stripper clip will fit down right into the groove. And let me pull this off the magazine so you can see. Now, it goes right into the groove here. And onto the magazine. And as you can see, empty clip, and 10 rounds in. Let's do another one. So again, I'm bending that little tab on the end here. Just that right onto the end, there's that little tab. I'm bent out. Magazine, spoon. Put that in and right in. One fell out, but and there is 20 in. Let's do our last one. What the heck? And there we go. Here's 30 rounds loaded up in this particular magazine, ready to go to the range for some fun. And we have the stripper clips left over. Take these gloves off. And again, you do have to press a little bit hard on there, but nothing crazy. So you could save these. So if you had some bulk ammo and you wanted to actually put these onto the clips, you could put them actually back on there. Let's see, just pull one off here. Just take a round, put it back on, make sure your clips are bent up, back, and you could go ahead and load up. So if you want to do some quick loading at the range, instead of loading magazines up individually with single rounds, you can certainly save these. These are reusable. Certainly don't throw them away when you're done. I know I'm not going to. Didn't take very long to get that loaded up with 30 rounds. And we have some clips. I'll just go ahead and put these back in my box along with the extra spoons. And let's put that one back in there. So let's take a look at those 5 features. Let's go through those 5 features again. And again, all semi-automatic firearms, which these are. And in case you were wondering, they're both unloaded, as you can see. So all semi-automatic firearms that can have a detachable magazine, as both of these can, and have at least one military feature. The pistol grip. And again, the pistol grip. Really, I heard in some of that, not to the testimony, but some of the introduction when the bill was introduced, that so you could hold by the hip and spray fire. Well, I've done that with this actually. I've done it with the AK-47, and I'll see if I can find some video footage of that and put it in. But I tried that. We were up at the cabin, and we had the target that we were doing some of that buckshot testing on. And I just walked it up, kind of firing from the hip. And I just want to tell you, besides being able to hold this easily, I couldn't hit anything with this accurately. So if you're going to use the excuse you want this so you can shoot from the hip, you're not going to hit anything. Really, I like this because it gives you that nice grip on there, instead of maybe having it here like a normal rifle would be. That's why a lot of the hunting shotguns, especially the turkey guns, are putting the grip on there, just because it's easier to hold. But that's it. There's no other reason. Forward grip. And again, forward grip. You can see one on here. And telefolding, telescoping, or detachable stock. Well, let's just go into that for a second. This right here, you've seen this in a video before. You saw me put the stock on here, and this is a Mako stock, and it is detachable, or excuse me, it does fold, as you can see. It does make it a little bit smaller, and again, I was shooting from the hip like this, and really I couldn't hit anything. So besides making it a little bit smaller, it's easier when you're traveling. You have it in the car. Besides that, and I mean locked in the car in a case, so don't get the wrong idea. It really doesn't do that much. And I put this on here because the length, and again, this is Warsaw pack length that came on here. And let's pull this stock out here for a second. And hopefully we can see the difference. I needed an extra 1.5 to 2 inches to comfortably hold this. There's a shot in here where we're shooting at some pine tree or some maple trees with these, and as you can see, my nose was right up against the guard right here, and it didn't feel comfortable. So I wanted to put something on here that lengthened it. And again, this is what came on here on the standard. So I put this on, and it has the cheek rest on here. So all it did is add comfort and fit. That's it. So where you get that this is going to do anything is, again, ridiculous. Here we have AR-15, and I didn't put that on this. I like the look on the AR-15. I don't like it on the AK-47, so that's why I didn't go with this type of folding stock, or excuse me, telescopic stock on there. But again, if I bought it and it was in here like this, it would be very short, and as you can see, my nose is just about touching the charging hammer, or handle. And that's not going to work. So when I shoot this, I normally have it extended all the way out. Now if someone with a little bit smaller stature than myself, they're going to need that in. So here, all this does is customize your size, and that is it. So to say that this does anything to make this weapon any more lethal, ridiculous. So there's another feature. Let's go with another one. Grenade or rocket launcher. Grenade or rocket launcher. Could you please put in the comment if you've ever put a rocket launcher on your AR-15 legally? And if you did, where can I get one? Just kidding, really, but that's the most ridiculous, and I'm going to use that term a few more times, I hope you don't mind. Rocket launcher or grenade launcher? I don't think so. Yeah, both of these do have a bayonet lug on them, and that was one of the features in the past, bayonet lug right here. I've never put a bayonet on here. Never probably would put a bayonet on here for any reason. This has a bayonet lug on it too. There's no reason why I would put one on there besides maybe for looks. But when's the last time a bayonet charge was used effectively? A little round top, maybe? Second day, Gettysburg? Not sure. But again, that's one of the more ridiculous things that I've seen, or more stupid, let's just put it that way. Barrel shroud. For those of you that have shot these, and one of the reasons why a lot of people like these is because they're powerful, yes, but you can shoot them affordably. If I brought my straight deer rifle 308 using standard Hornady rounds and just shot up like you've seen in a couple of my videos, I'd be broke. That was one of the attractions for these, that you can get a box of ammo for relatively cheap. 20 rounds, maybe $5. 20 rounds for this, maybe $7. And before Iraq and Afghanistan, there were plenty of rounds available for these, very cheap, that came out of the Lake City Arsenal that is run by the U.S. government. So think about that for a little bit too. That's one of the reasons. And if you're shooting, because you're shooting almost like a .22 with these, you're taking shot after shot, they get extremely hot. So the barrel shroud, all that really does is protect your hand from getting burned on here. If you shot your deer rifle 5, 6, 7 times when you're sighting in, and you didn't let it cool between shots, you know how hot that barrel gets just shooting your deer rifle. So as you know, shooting 20 rounds out of this real quick, it's going to get very hot. That's one of the reasons why there's a barrel shroud on here. Now let me take off this. This is the original stock that came on the AK. And as you can see, there's a piece of aluminum in there to keep the heat away from your hand. And that's all it does. It keeps the heat away from your hand when you're shooting. So where a barrel shroud is anything dangerous is again a myth, is stupid, ridiculous, whatever you want to call it. And the last piece, a threaded barrel. This does come off, so this has a threaded barrel. And you may want to put a silencer on there. In here, Delaware, silencers are illegal, so I couldn't put one on here if I wanted to. But a flash suppressor, all that really does is make it a little bit easier for you to see over the ball of flame that comes out of the barrel. And that's all it does. It does nothing else. It doesn't make it any more lethal. As a matter of fact, if you use a threaded barrel to put a silencer on, as you well know, the velocity of the rounds that are going to come out are going to be slower. That's another 5-point ridiculousness that's been introduced, and you should do all you can do to get any of these bills stricken or removed or taken out. If you want to go for a little bit more of the background checks, to tell you the truth, I don't have a problem with that because I don't have anything in my background that's going to stop me from getting a firearm. They can do a few things to keep these type of firearms out of mentally ill, deranged, psychopath killers. And really that's what it comes down to. Responsible firearm owners, there are millions and millions and millions of them. And don't give credit to the millions of firearm owners that act responsible, keep their guns in a safe place, keep them away from children, keep them out of the hands of people who shouldn't get them. So give yourself some credit to those of you that have some responsible firearm ownership. Get involved, join an organization. It doesn't have to be the NRA. You may not like everything that the NRA says. They're not the only group out there. I'll put a link in the notes where you can find a list of all the Second Amendment organizations. Join one of those. Recently I joined the Delaware State Sportsmen's Association just to show my support. So do something like that. It doesn't have to be the NRA. You can join any organization that you like. So go out and do it today. Write your congressmen, write your senators, write your local reps, write the president. Tell him how you feel. He's probably not going to read it, just like the rest of them don't read it. And all they do is have an intern send you back a form letter. But at least you're letting them know. So continue to do that. And I know I certainly am. So this is White Rook 85, signing out off the Delmarva Peninsula today. And you have a great one.